everyone. Welcome back to the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention in San Antonio. I'm Mark Kusenberger. I'm joined by head coach Rod Blount of the Navarro Panthers. Well, Coach, we're in downtown San Antonio in July. Parking is miserable. You get sweaty getting into this building, and then it's frigid once you're inside, and it's crowded. Isn't it wonderful to be back?
It is. It's awesome to be back. Missed it last year. This is a big deal for the Texas high school coaches, and great to be back in it and be back in person.
What are some of the things you miss about the convention and not being able to do this last year?
You know, getting to network with other coaches, getting to see old coaching buddies, catch up, being able to sit down and talk a little ball after the lectures are done. That's good quality time.
I think everybody's going to be asked about the contrast. Of course, last year was very strange and difficult and challenging and frustrating and all the other stuff. What's been it like getting back towards something resembling normal here in 2021?
It's been awesome. Summer workouts have been great. The spring last year, seeing those guys being able to get out in baseball, softball, track, tennis, and golf and do their thing was awesome, where they missed it the year before. Kids are taking advantage of it. You know, we don't take it for granted because, you know, not everybody got that opportunity.
And your baseball team in particular had a terrific year this year under Chris Cavazos, one of the best seasons in the history of Navarro baseball. And I got to broadcast their series against Cal Allen. I'm very impressed with how far that program has come, and the future does look bright under Chris.
Yes, sir. He's done a great job for us in football and baseball. We got a lot of crossover kids that do both, and it's great to see those kids shine in everything that they do.
A lot of new faces will be on the football team this coming year. Tell us about some of the things that are coming up, some of the well, let's start with the leadership that is coming back for Navarro.
You know, we got our Nick Billings coming back. He started the last two at quarterback. Brody Whitson coming back on both sides of the ball, and Diego Campos. Those are kind of the leaders that have been in that position for a couple of years, and they're doing a great job setting the example by the way they work and the way they approach things. And we got a lot of young guys that are going to get an opportunity this year.
Tell us about bringing those kids up to the standard at Navarro, because it's a standard that was established under Les Goat and has been maintained under Rod Blount. You have to grow up pretty quickly to meet the standards. Granted, district play is a little unusual, but the people know the quality that Navarro expects.
Yes, sir, and the kids grow up in that. The ones that have been there for a long time, they've seen it all the way through elementary, intermediate, and junior high now, and they know what the expectation is, and they know when it's their turn to take over. They've been working hard. You know, guys like Cole Mauser have been doing a great job of mentoring them and getting them ready to play.
The big challenge for Navarro for years now has been Wimberley. There are other challenges on the schedule, but Wimberley's the big one. You end up having to play them twice a year, and I know the regular season's gone better than the postseason. Tell us about making the step to that standard, because I know you'd rather beat Wimberley in December than beat them. It's fun to beat them anytime because that's a great program and a great feather in your cap, but I know the ambitions of this program, and you'd love to be making arrangements with the West Orange Stark at the NRG Stadium again, doing that sort of thing.
Yes, sir. And, you know, they got the better of us in the playoffs last time, and that's definitely the one you want to win. They're a quality opponent, and, you know, we just got to keep working, make sure that we go in with level heads and ready to play. It's very difficult to beat anybody twice in a row, especially a quality program like them.
Last year was unusual because the district was very peculiar, and you have programs that have great success with Wimberley and Navarro, and programs that have more challenges. In fact, Eastside Memorial isn't even going to play football this year, so I believe you have 2 open dates in the schedule. It's a challenge to maintain the standard of the quality of play that you want, and at the same time, you don't want to be perceived as embarrassing an opponent. And then you have the second stringers and the third stringers. You don't want to tell them to run 5 yards and sit down. But there honestly have appeared to be some mismatches. So I'd like you to address how you approach getting the players ready for these situations and maintaining the standard and still being a classy program.
Well, the first thing we did is our non-district is loaded. There's not a team in there that's not a top team in the state, and we're going to get challenged every week during that non-district schedule. It's extremely difficult, but we got to approach it. We know what our goal is. We want to make deep playoff runs, and so we're going to approach each game to take that next step. And sometimes it changes going into it quickly, but when we're out there, they got to play with everything they have and make sure that they're in condition and ready to play deep in the playoffs.
We love talking about football, but of course you play a variety of sports at Navarro, and many of them you've enjoyed a great success in over the years. What are some of the challenges that those other programs have faced? Football certainly faced theirs. They tend to vary from sport to sport, and got through the school year, and as I recall, you didn't really have to miss a whole lot of action, which is a tribute to your players and your faculty.
Yes, sir. We right when we started, we had a little battle with football, but got through it and got rolling, and then we didn't have any other issues the rest of the year. But coaches working hard, kids adjusting as we went. We'd get in a routine and would have to change things up, and they did an awesome job of adjusting and continuing to work. They know what their goal is. Our girls basketball making a run. Volleyball is always competitive. We've been very blessed to have be successful in all of our programs, softball, golf, tennis, and track, and we're excited about that. And that's kind of the standard for the community. The kids know it, the community knows it, and they hold them to a high standard, and those kids are willing to work to get there.
Has the specter of the coronavirus completely lifted at Navarro? Are there still precautions that need to be taken given events in the news, things that are going on, and the primary goal of the faculty, which is help your students be safe and succeed?
We're not backing off. We're doing things a little bit different, but it's still out there, and we're going to make sure we do everything possible to prevent it from happening and keep our kids out there in school and in their sports playing all year long.
What are you looking forward to this coming fall?
I'm excited to see some of these young kids step up, have an opportunity to play our leadership, and see how our kids mentor those young guys and see how they get after it. It's going to be a good challenge. We lost a huge, really good offensive line, and some guys have got to step up and take that spot. And it's exciting to see them working hard for their goals over the summer, and I'm excited to see what it's going to look like in 2-A-days.
So often with a 4A school, you have representation from pretty much each class, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, just to get numbers out. It's a great thing to have a bunch of seniors who are capable and ready to help the team, but then they go.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to hear about the this past school because it was had to be an emotional thing. Even any graduating class is going to be emotional for a coach.
Yes,
I certainly know. But given the special challenges that these young men faced, some of them being cheated out of their junior year baseball and track and field, and now all this, and as much fun as it is and as much success as you have, it's done and it's time to move on.
It was tough. Those were kind of guys we built around when I got here. I think there were 9 of them that started as sophomores, and they ended up winning something like 9 playoff games and playing in 12, and to lose a class like that, and I think there were 27, 28, and most of them were contributors out on the football field. So to lose a class like that, it hurts, but it's also exciting because there's a lot of opportunity for other guys to step up and get to experience the things that they did.
And the coaches are going to have them ready to have a great season at Navarro, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Coach Blount, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great convention.
Well, I appreciate you having us, and I appreciate all that y'all do for high school sports and getting us out there and letting people watch it. And my parents weren't able to come to the game, and they got to watch all my games last year online, and that means a whole lot to me, and I appreciate everything y'all do.
We're happy to do it. It's a classic win-win situation. Your parents get to enjoy the games, and we do too. That's head coach Rod Blount of the Navarro Panthers out of Geronimo, Texas. I'm Mark Kusenberger. We'll be back with more coaches at the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention